Welcome to the TCP3 video training series. In the last video, we introduced the network configuration page of our TCP3. Today we're going to discuss the USB configuration page. The user can choose which characters a converter will send to the server when it receives the terminating character from the device plugged into the TCP3. The choices are carriage return, line feed, or both carriage return and line feed. Under the TCP/IP configuration, the converter can be configured either as a server or as a client. The factory default setting is for the converter to be a server. TCP server configuration. Here the local port for the USB needs to be configured to match the server configuration. By default, the port is 7777. This is the port the converter will use to communicate with the client, wherein the client will poll the converter to retrieve the data once it arrives. TCP client configuration. The IP address or host name of the solution server is required along with the port number to be used for communication. Users have the option of sending data either as plain text or more securely via SSL. There are two connection options that control the behavior of the port during data transfer. Connect on any character. This is the factory default setting. Data is queued in the converter and held until the specified disconnect character is received or the timeout expires. A connection to the server is then opened and the entire data string is sent in one network message, then the port is closed. Connect on character. You can configure the TCP3 to start queuing data when a particular character arrives. When the checkbox is enabled, the users can either send or discard this start character. There are also two disconnect options. Disconnect on character. By default, TCP3 is configured with number 13, which is the decimal representation of a carriage return as the data terminating character. If the data stream ends with a different character, the TCP3 can be configured to stop collecting data on that character, and then the entire data string can be sent in one network message. Disconnect timeout. The converter will close the connection if a character hasn't been received within the set timeout interval. If you want to revert to the defaults, you can do so by clicking Load Defaults. Once all the changes have been made, click on the Apply button, followed by the Reboot button, for the changes to take effect. Thank you for watching. In our next video, we will be discussing the System Configuration tab.